This is my review on Deja Vu Season 4 Reunion Part 3, which is the finale. And we first start off with obviously the fight between Levi and Ali. Or Ali, I think his name was, but yeah. All that tussling and not one like punch was even thrown that connected and stuff. And I'm just thinking all this over DTB is crazy, and DTB is not even at the reunion, bear in mind. That's another topic for another day, why DTB was at the reunion, and also why there's been shady comments made about certain people on the network towards DTB, but we'll see if DTB comes back for season 5 of Deja Vu. I don't think she will be there, but we shall see. So the fight between them, when it goes into like the second round, because obviously the first round didn't really feel like a first round because Ali just basically bum rushed Levi on the stage, and then he dislocated his arm. They had to pop his arm back in place. Then he goes to try fight him again. I'm gonna give it to Ali only because his punches connected. Levi was missing a lot of the punches. Like for instance, like the punch was like going off his face. It wasn't actually connecting and stuff. And then on top of that as well, Ali made Levi bleed in his face. So I'm gonna give it to him, even though it was a weak fight, but I have to give it to someone. Then Levi disclosed that he has a contact in his eye, and I'm thinking, so he can't see about it or what's going on. He shouldn't be going back out there if that's the case. If he can't actually see, because he said that one of his contacts was knocked out of his eye. On top of that as well, he's not beating the allegations of financial being, people are accusing him of being a BUM, but I just think he's just a regular guy, but he's not beating the allegations about his financial situation, because who in their right mind that has lost a contact on the floor, bear in mind there's so many people stepping on this, would think that they're going to put a dirty contact back in their eye? Even the medic told him he shouldn't be doing that. He's like, oh, but I don't think anyone stepped in it. It's not the point. There's bacteria and other stuff that are going around that you want to put that dirty contact back in your eyes. Crazy work. I feel like Joyce was definitely antagonizing Duke during this whole reunion as well. There was times where she wasn't, but most of the time she was 75% of the time. Duke, though, is trying to say on part 2 of the reunion that he wasn't triggered by Joyce, but as soon as Joyce opens her mouth, you see him frothing at the mouth. He's angry. Like, he just wants to attack her. I feel like Fly 9 should definitely return to Deja Vu. I love me some Fly 9. But the same comment I made about Kayla with the clothes that aren't fitting as well. Fly 9 needs to dress her size. I understand she's gained a lot of weight, or she's gained some weight anyway from when she's come out of jail, prison, whatever it was and stuff. And I know she always used to dress with tight clothes as well, but dress with something that actually suits your body type as well, especially when people know you for your style and fashion as well, make more sense. I'm not even trying to body shame her or anything at all. Grace was doing too much talking for me. She was actually annoying me this reunion because, yeah, you want to insert yourself in other people's drama, but you're popping out the mouth and we can't even hear what other guests are saying when Fly9 came to the stage. I liked Fly9's response to Joyce though, because Joyce didn't think that Fly9 would be responding to her. She thought she was just going to pay her dust. And Joyce was 100% being shady as well, what she was saying. With Fly9, I'm glad that she took accountability for what she did with her situation with Ivory as well, because she did go online and make a comment about her fighting abilities. However, I don't think Ivory, from my understanding, has gone online to talk about Fly9. She may have talked about her other friends in the past, but I don't think she's actually talked about Fly9 when I think about it. But she has just been shady as well, though. But I just feel like Fly9 was upset about something. She misdirected it online instead of going directly to the person instead, and that's how it caused all this beef. I think Fly9 and Ivory should make up anyway, and I don't think they should be bringing the beef to the internet. However, me personally, I'm not going to now fight my friend twice over on different 2 reality TV shows and still be friends with them, but everyone has their own toxicity in friendship. So that's all I'm going to leave it at. But I'm glad they did make up and they can move past this, because I believe this was the only real friendship that Ivory had on the network outside of DTB. And DTB's friendship, I feel like it's just, I don't know if it's the same level as Fly9 and her relationship. Bear in mind, obviously, Fly9 has also just featured on Ivory's new show that she has on, I think it's Volve Network, where they're doing like a love show with her and Donye, and showing their life and the toxicness and all this other stuff in regards to the domestic violence and everything on there. And Fly Night is a guest on there along with SoCal Barbie. You could tell Duke really had enough of Joyce as well. And the fact that they let Duke get that close to Joyce was crazy, and security were backing up as well. Then he pushed her. And then obviously, I don't know if he got a hit in or if he did, because obviously Joyce kind of confirmed that he did, but it didn't hit hard enough. But her lip was bleeding. I was just kind of like, that's crazy still. I feel like they should have brought, again, like what they did for the other seasons of Deja Vu, brought another female in to fight Joyce, another trans woman in, sorry, to fight Joyce, rather than Duke fighting Joyce, even though she is antagonizing him. I don't think he should have put his hands on her, and I also don't think she should be hitting him either. JR wasn't on anything. He wasn't on piss. The whole time we're here, he wasn't on nothing. Because when they're talking about OJR, you got to ride for Joyce. He's saying, get that, man. Don't bring him back another season. I understand he's a relative of Tilo, but he can be on payroll off the screen, because we don't need him. When the same way he was boring on Playboy's Miami, he don't need to be on the show either. On top of that as well, Kashi would never. Kashi would be riding out for Joyce, regardless if she's right or wrong, even though that is wrong to do as well. Like, you need to hold your friend accountable and stuff. But he would have run that fade with him. He would have run that. But to be fair, anyway, when Duke and Kashi fought at the Bad Boys audition just recently anyway, so I'm not really surprised. Well, Kashi snuck Duke. So this is what I mean, Kashi's not scared of a fade. Then they introduced Moses and Sai to the audience, and I was just thinking in my head, these are irrelevant cast members. Sai hasn't been relevant since Is It Young and Reckless? I don't know what episode that was. And I think she was on All Stars as well, I believe. I don't really remember if she was or not, if I'm messing her up with someone else. Moses as well, a boring character. I don't know why he'd be on Deja Vu. He barely gave anything on the hookup. Like, stop inviting these people back that people don't want to see. And just because there's outrage or people upset or the audience don't agree with a certain cast member, it doesn't mean that they want to continuously see that person there. Because it's the same thing they did at the beginning of Kayla as well, when she kept frothing at the mouth saying, smoke me, smoke me. And because people are upset with her, they start bringing her on more shows, and now she's not really on much shows. Also, why is Ivory dressed as a substitute teacher? I don't know what the hell was going on this day for this reunion. Moses was definitely clout chasing with that situation with Ivory saying that, oh, she complimented him or whatever it was. Donye and Ivory weren't believing his lies, and I don't believe they should be accepting the apology as well, because you don't know what type of thing you've caused in regards to their relationship as well, and also just causing drama in life, people to believe the lies that you're coming with. Then when it comes to you now coming face to face with them, you're now coming with a different story. You shouldn't be saying that in the first place just for clout chase when you know eventually you're gonna have to meet these people in person. And Becca walked in, she looked amazing. However, I don't know if she would be a good fit again for Deja Vu as well, because the last season she didn't give much. It wasn't the last season, sorry, it was season 2 of Deja Vu. No, was it season 2? Season 3 of Deja Vu, sorry. I feel like she gave nothing that season. She just was there for a free check, if I'm honest. That's all I really remember. I don't remember her doing much. And I guess because she's now with Kilo, she may get another spot on Deja Vu. But I don't think she would add anything. Unless she's going to do what LaRue did in the sense of like talking in your confessionals and making that be the entertaining part of your contribution towards the show, then I guess so. So now they're saying Landon and Moses aren't cousins, or Ivory saying this as well. I need to see the family tree because Landon claimed that Moses and Levi were his cousins, but I don't know what to believe at this point, honestly. We have Pookie that arrives, and also we have Hudrat Holly. I'm glad that she's back on the network as well. Pookie would be a good addition to Deja Vu because obviously it seems like they only have one or two trans people on there. They're not. I don't believe they're bringing back Kenzie because Kenzie would have come along with the OG cast members as well. But I guess they're going to replace Kenzie with Pookie instead, and then still have Joyce on the show as well as the main trans woman that is always on the network. Hudrat Holly, I'm glad she's back as well. Hopefully she's not boring. Because I feel like the last season that she was on, she didn't really say much. It was just in the confessionals and then making comments here and there, and that was it. And she kind of like went to the back, if I'm honest. Then we had Sheik walk in, then immediately he gets that with JR. Obviously, he wins the fight with JR. He just can't fight, and I feel like Sheik definitely learned a few moves from when he was on Playboy's Miami that he now incorporated into this fighting, or his fighting ability now when he's fighting JR on Deja Vu. Mac finally arrives as well, and I'm just actually tired of him and Duke fighting as well. I hope they don't fight this episode because I'm actually getting tired of it because Duke is always trying to look for a redemption after the whole situation with him being knocked out on the show. I don't know why they brought Duke back out because it didn't make any sense as well. And I'm glad Matt got up and left because what am I doing fighting him for no reason for the 10,000th time? Like, I'm not going to be doing all that, sorry. You're not paying me enough either to run that fade. Mar was very delusional when he said he is the king of Deja Vu. There's nothing wrong with hyping yourself up as well, but it's also nothing wrong with giving props to people that made way or paved the way for you to even be on a season 4 of Deja Vu as well. So let's be realistic here. Come on. Then we had Roxy versus K Goddess. I'm not sure if this is the same fight that was happening on the Sprinter bus as well earlier. I feel like K Goddess should have allowed Roxy to get her stuff off as well. Roxy needs to work on her balance because that was another downfall for her when she was running these fades. For the first round, I'm not going to give the fight to anyone because I don't believe anyone won. The second round, I'm going to give it to Roxy because she hit harder on that part because K Goddess wasn't really doing much. Third round, I'm going to give it to Roxy. The fourth round, nobody got that, if I'm honest. And I feel like they kept like cutting the fight shorter and shorter each and every round. If I'm honest, the beef has been going on so long between Mac and Duke, I even forgot how it started. But the fact that I peeped Joyce in the curtains before her and I thought, oh, maybe she's just, walking out or something. Then she went and snuck Duke. The way Duke got so angry, 6 security guards had to hold him back, and then they watched. And then you know who the real person is that is a dickhead? It's the cameraman following him while he just crashes out on the street. And I feel like Duke, this is just another example of Duke trying to get his lick back on Joyce as well. Probably on season 5 or whenever he sees her as well if he goes to the family reunion.